spoken for the God-given freedom. Today I've asked to relate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech to today's modern world. When I began to think about Dr. King's speech, it became difficult to relate it to today's culture and world. One of the reasons why it is difficult to relate it to the dream of Dr. King to this current world is because we have separated the message from the King of Kings. So this dream has seemingly turned into a nightmare because we have disconnected the dream from the dream giver. The potency of Dr. King's speech was drenched in the prophetic message of Jesus Christ bringing liberty to every blood-bought believer. But the liberty is not easy and is not without its challenges. When I think about challenges to a dream, I think about Satan's temptation of Jesus in Matthew chapter 4. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, Jesus was tempted by the devil in an attempt to get Jesus to forfeit his purpose of saving humanity and reigning at the right hand of the Father. And just like Jesus, if we are going to see the dream come to life, we are going to have to identify the tricks of the enemy and implement the plan of God. A few things we can't be if we're going to live the dream. We can't be delusional. Satan tried to get Jesus to turn a stone into bread. Satan wants to make us hungry for what we desire and don't currently have until we change the original intention of what God said and made. Secondly, we can't be deceived. Satan told Jesus to cast himself down and that God would charge his angels over Jesus. Satan wants to deceive us into misunderstanding and misapplying God's word for our glory, not God's. Remember, some things may seem like a good idea, but not be a God idea. We must know what sounds good, but is not God. Lastly, we can't get too desperate. Satan offers to give Jesus all the land that he shows him. Satan wants to give us what God has promised us before time and give it to us before the process is complete. We can't skip the steps in our development. So now that I've told you what we can't do if we are going to live this dream, there are a few things we must do if we want to see the dream. We must be didactic. To be didactic means to be able to teach. Here in the text, Jesus wasn't so much teaching Satan about the word, but his flesh to know right from wrong. God's original intention for the stone and know the true meaning of God's word. Next, we must be detailed. We must know the consequences of our actions. Satan attempted to teach Jesus with doing something that wouldn't bring glory to the Father, but bring attention to his flesh and desires. Lastly, we must be decisive. Satan takes Jesus to a high place and offers to give him something that already belonged to him. But Jesus replied that we are commanded to worship God and God alone. We can't be tricked to worshiping God just first, but we shall worship God only. So I have a dream when humanity worships the King of Kings. I have a dream where all God's children live their God-ordained purpose. I have a dream where we don't lack. I have a dream where we live abundant lives. I have a dream where we get off the fence and stand on the Lord's side. I have a dream. I'm going to leave you with this story. There is a man who saw two sides. One side, Jesus and salvation, and on the other, sin, in other words, the devil. He decided he's going to get on the fence. Next thing he knows, everything goes blank. And the devil shows up and he says, well, I didn't choose you or Jesus. Why have I been left with you, Satan? Satan tells the man, you're misunderstood. The fence is mine. So, I encourage you to stay off the fence and be with God all the way. Thank you.